day, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your weekly Phantasy Star Online 2 podcast, recorded live on June 27th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me is Xance. Go ahead and say hello.
Konnichiwa!
So, we had quite a big update this week on North America, or on the North American side, rather, and we've also gotten some big news from the Japanese side of things as well here.
So yeah, there's a lot to talk about today. New lobby, new mode that dropped, and other things, like our normal things that we talk about as well.
Yep, but of course, we always open up with our gaming week, so why don't I go ahead and lead us off this week? So aside from playing through Pso2, I also finally took care of Chapter 1 of Episode 2 of Idola Phantasy Star Saga, so I finally do have access to Episode 1 once again in that game. I know you're not big into the mobile games, and really the only reason I keep up with it is for the story, which is interesting in the fact that, once again, characters from Phantasy Star Online 2, rather, do show up in Idola Phantasy Star Saga.
Yep, if only I could read Japanese. Even then, I would still not buy it.
Yeah, that's kind of the big issue right now. There's no translation for the story available, unfortunately. And that's sort of one thing I'm struggling through all this, unfortunately. I tried learning Japanese a long time ago, and it just did not work out for me.
I've actually been wanting to learn Japanese for a while now, and I do have some plans laid out to actually study more. I just need to study.
Gotcha.
Because yeah, I would like to understand what the hell I'm going through whenever I play Dragon Quest X. I have nearly 200 hours in that game, and I can't read anything.
Yeah, it's. I guess there was no opportunity for any sort of like tweaker-like patch to come out for that game, huh?
Sadly, no. The game's been out since 2012, if I remember correctly. It's been out as long as Phantasy Star Online 2. But yeah, for the longest time there was an IP block for anywhere outside of Japan. But now in China and the US, it's been lifted after the Chinese version of the game closed down. I don't know why the US got lifted all of a sudden with lifting the Chinese one, but oh well. I can now play the game without a VPN, which is nice.
Maybe it had something.
But yeah, it's probably because of that no kind of patcher like the Pso2 tweaker has become a thing, especially since this is also a sub-based game.
Yep. So yeah, for me it was just Pso2 and Idola this week. How about you, Xance?
Well, I mentioned to you before, I started getting back into Phantasy Star Portable 2, since I kind of missed that game a bit. And other than that, I've been playing in, I got SpongeBob, Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. That came out on Tuesday. I haven't finished it yet, but I've been enjoying it, and I can now say that I am far better than a GameSpot reviewer. Because, dear Lord, was his review terrible. Have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
So, he gave Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated a 2 out of 10. And you have to watch this video review or read the review, because it is just hilarious. Yes, a 2 out of 10. I'm not joking.
Sounds like the guy has some sort of revenge plot or something against the game.
No, he was just terrible at it. Like, if you actually watch the review, you'll see just how terrible he is at the game. Especially with one of the mechanics. Okay, the mechanic pushes you forward a little bit whenever you use it. So you think to compensate for that, you just move back a bit. No, he didn't think about doing that at all.
So this is another Cuphead thing?
Not just the Cuphead thing, but more of I don't know if you heard about like a really, really obscure show called Gaming in the Clinton Years.
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's basically something like that. I would highly recommend you look it up because those reviews make absolutely no sense and are hilarious to watch. Gotcha. But I would highly recommend watching that and then watch this GameSpot review. It feels eerily similar to that.
All right. I'll have to check it out then.
Yeah. But other than that, you shouldn't be surprised what you ran. But other than that, yeah, I mostly just get on Pso2 now just to do dailies and UQs. And what else? My usual things. Ninjala also released, so I've been trying that out.
I haven't heard of that one.
Well, Ninjala it's a free game on the Switch. People have said it's like a kind of like a Splatoon clone in a way, but with ninjas that use gum.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a free-to-play game, so it's fine. I enjoy it at least. I'm good at it, so yeah, obviously I enjoy it.
All right.
But yeah, that's mostly what I've been up to. Just random games, because I have a hard time just sticking to one thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, and to your point, yeah, Phantasy Star Portable 2, that plus Infinity was really good, and we do know that Infinity patch is coming along. It's apparently in beta, so I can't wait for that to release.
Same, and I can't wait to be able to do a bunch of multiplayer stuff with people, because that's what makes playing Portable 2 a lot of fun, is doing the multiplayer.
Yep, I think that at the very least there's a battle mode in there.
Yeah, there is. It's fine, just like the battle mode in Pso2. It's fine. Not really that great, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's more going on in missions and such, where kind of the real meat of it is.
And challenge mode.
Yep.
So.
All right.
So yeah, other than that, why don't we continue on talking about Murkoff?
Indeed. Let's get into our topics for this week. So, yes, we had quite a big drop here. We kind of knew it was coming based on what had leaked. But yeah, we've got an Independence Day event going on here. And with that, we actually have a trailer. So let's take a quick look at this here and see what's actually inside of here. So we do have the new lobby. Kind of interesting that they wrapped up those trees like that, because it also kind of makes it look like Christmas at the same time.
Yeah, you got a nice big Statue of Liberty right in the middle of the shopping plaza.
Yep. Sia's client orders, by the way, if you weren't aware, you can complete them across multiple characters, so you're able to collect those as well as your limited missions multiple times if you got multiple characters. So that's, by the end of this, players are going to have like 300 plus of the 100% tri-boosts.
Yeah. And also, one thing you can do with the glory badges is a 1-for-1 trade for the weapon badge 2.
Yep, so if you still need your ray units or any of those weapons, there you go.
Yep. And you got a bunch of different accessories. You got a American flag as a cape. That's awesome.
Yep.
And you got emotes. The male one is the fireworks and the female one's roller skates. And here is Las Vegas early.
Surprise! I don't think anybody was thinking this was going to happen.
Yeah, it makes sense for the event. It's a 4th of July event, so it makes sense to have an urgent quest take place in Las Vegas. But we don't have episode 4 stuff yet, and we already have Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's really quirky in that I don't think even Aika and Itsuki and Rina had even met at that point.
Nope.
So,
and we got some assault rifle camos here. These drop as 13, and also a rod. So these drop as 13-star weapon camos. So yeah, good luck even getting them.
I actually had the Parcelina drop yesterday.
I have not gotten any of them.
So yeah, yeah, a huge event that's going on here. So,
also one thing I will mention is they're actually playing that that update video in the lobby like they do in JP, which is actually I like that. I like seeing those update videos in the lobby. Oh, you didn't know you could swap the glory badges? Yeah, it's all the way down at the bottom of the list.
Yep. So it's yeah, it's a really good event. So it's not just only you can get what C is selling, but you can also then run upstairs and hand in Rising Badge 2s as well.
Mm-hmm. I actually did that for a few of the glory badges that I had, so I can get one of the Ray units. Since I already have the arms, I wanted the back.
Yep.
Got it, grinded up to plus 10, and equipped it right away.
Yep, so, not this week, but starting next week, we've got an Independence Day boost here, but it's actually lasting all week until the maintenance, which is going to give an extra 50%. It's basically a tri-boost there, an extra 50% tri-boost there.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's before any other boosters that you decide to chomp down on. And then the decor theme has changed to Liberty, which is going to be with us for about a month, actually.
Yeah, until the 22nd, which will then be whatever the next lobby theme is, which will probably be... I don't know, what would be the next lobby theme then?
Honestly, the next one would have been Tanabata, except I don't think we're going to get that one.
Because probably whatever happens after the next one will be the Halloween theme.
Yeah, actually no.
The Halloween theme lobby music I love.
Yeah, actually thinking about it, the next one should be the water slide themed one for summer.
Oh, yeah, the summer theme. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's probably going to be the summer theme, and that'll last until late August.
Yep, and then we'll get the August one with the clouds in the sky, and where we'll have that other urgent quest come up that takes place on Harukuten in the Nightfaller area. Mm-hmm. Regiment of the Wicked, or whatever they're going to call it for us.
Yep, and then the October theme is the Halloween theme.
Yep. No idea if they're going to do a Thanksgiving thing or not here.
Probably not.
The question...
They're probably going to go right into the winter theme afterwards.
The kind of problem that we have here, though, right now, is we don't have... For me, I thought what they were going to do was they were going to do the White Day urgent quest. And anybody that doesn't know what White Day is, elsewhere in the world, Valentine's Day is split up between females giving gifts to men and then men giving gifts to female in two separate events. So that's what Valentine's and White Day is. And we did not get the White Day equivalent of that in this event. I would have thought we would have been down in the Ultimate Amaduskia caves instead.
Also, by the way, White Day is girls give gifts to guys, and then Valentine's Day is guys give gifts to girls.
I thought it was the other way around.
That's a tongue twister. Guys gives gifts. Ugh. That is a stupid tongue twister right there.
But yeah, so along with all of this, we also have Sia back in town here. She gives out several client orders, which will give you what are called glory badges, which you can then turn into different rewards, including our friend here, Uncle Sam, or at least what their outfit is. And then you can also grab yourself an Uncle Sam hat. And then there's also the Roller Diner outfit. This was an interesting one to see. I'm really surprised that of anything that Sega would have done for this, they would have gone to basically 1950s, 1960s, or if you consider today, the restaurant Sonic. Actually, maybe that's what they're doing. No relationship, I'm sure.
Sonic collaboration when?
Yeah, basically, back in the day, you had a bunch of restaurants where you would actually dine out in your car, and you would have people on roller skates that deliver food to you. Back in the 50s and 60s, I think that was when that was a big thing.
And yeah, the only restaurant that I know of that still just does that dine-in your car is Sonic.
Yeah. And then you've got an old glory flag here, as well as a cape. Interesting use for it.
Yes. America flag cape.
Yep. And then you've got a consumable berry pie, which gives you a 50% try boost for 10 minutes. You've got a festival emote. And we've got
fireworks. That's cute.
Yep.
And then yes,
the big thing, Las Vegas early. So they're calling this a VR simulation. So ARKS HQ wants to make sure that operatives remain in top form even during this celebratory event. To aid that goal, they will be activating a recently created VR simulation, very similar to environments that will be encountered in Episode 4, that will test an operative's ability to utilize their environment, employ new modes of travel, and develop new strategies to battle enemies they've never encountered. I'm surprised they didn't go with the Ridroid riding quests.
Yeah, I'm interested about that as well. But I'm guessing they're probably saving that for when Episode 4 actually releases.
Yeah, it's yeah, I guess maybe they haven't developed the tech for the Ridroid just yet here, and yeah, it's Ridroid based on what was leaked in the data mining. So, so yeah, and we saw the weapons before in the trailer up above. So. Yeah, basically, run the UQ whenever you can, and then make sure you take care of the client orders, as well as the limited missions that are available. You're going to be sitting pretty on glory badges, as well as Tri-Boost plus 100% after this event here, if you keep up with it on all your characters. So yeah, that's pretty much the main meat of the event. So with that, let's roll into kind of the information that came out with the scheduled maintenance. So, we've got several campaigns going on here. We've got a use group chat campaign, get the ARKS Handbook title campaign, a daily login reward campaign, and a casino boost and bonuses campaign. We'll be talking about all that later in the show. We've also got new AC Scratch, new Fun Scratch, new Fresh Finds, new Urgent Quest schedule, a new Challenge Quest, which they're going to go into in just a moment here, and of course the Independence Day event. And they fixed an issue where the quest triggers were not named the same as the actual quests.
Oh.
Yep.
So Onslaught got fixed to being Incursion, and Desperation got fixed to being Despair.
Yep. And apparently the last one's going to be called Ending, so we'll see when that's coming out. If anything, they're probably going to keep the same plan as the Japanese server, so we're probably going to see that after the Profound Darkness comes out. Alright, so, about challenge quests. I called it!
Yes,
you did.
I believe I said this last week as well, they're just going to drop a challenge quest during a maintenance. And I even said in-game, what if after this maintenance they just drop challenge quest? I called it!
There was like no hint that it was even happening. I mean, they said challenging in the one scheduled maintenance post, I think, but that was it. And they seemed to imply it was more the Las Vegas thing. That was actually, if anything, that's what caught everybody by surprise. So, yeah.
Congrats on predicting it. Well, thank you.
Yeah, so we have challenge quests, but the thing that's missing is we don't have the shared ship just yet for some reason.
Yeah, it's just on your main ship, blocks 301 and up.
Yep. So the basics of how this works, players that need to do a challenge quest are going to be moved to the dedicated challenge blocks. The player's class becomes the Challenger class in this mode. Players will always start from level 1 on this quest. Leveling up is tied to the mission, so any levels gained will reset to 1 when the challenge quest comes to an end. Challengers can use weapons of all classes that drop during the quest. And challenge quests have a fixed number of areas, so defeat the enemies in each area and aim for the next area by fighting your way there. Now, you're also timed on this here, and that's in the form of VR energy. So, as you progress, your VR energy will gradually decrease, and this is shared with all members in the quest. When the VR energy reaches 0, the quest ends, and VR energy can be recovered by picking up capsules during the quest. You can also do that. You're going to lose some initially once when somebody goes down, but then you can get some of it back by reviving them with a moon atomizer. And then...
And it always happens to me when I'm in the 4th area, and then a bunch of people die all at once, which just ends the run.
Yeah, that last...
It's happened to me several times now.
Yeah, the 4th area, please, people, go to the north.
Yes. And ignore the enemies.
Yeah, there's no reason not to go north, and just all you have to do is just break through the fall fences. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to attack anything. Okay, and then you've also got challenge miles here. So as you progress through these challenge missions, you're going to get challenge miles depending upon how far you get, as well as if you pick up any of those heart-shaped crystals on the ground. Those challenge miles can then be used for items at the Challenge Mile Exchange Shop. That is located next to the Recycle Shop, which is also next to the Funporium as well. It's on the lower level of the ARKS lobby, so it's not where it is on the Japanese servers.
Yep, and one of the things you can get from the Challenge Mile shop is Revulsio weapons, so rip doing shacks for those.
Yep, if you're still missing some from your collection, then of course you can do challenge mode to get those. The thing that's missing though is we don't have the Star Gem exchange.
Yeah, true.
I wonder what's up with
that. Still a bit annoying.
So it's not just only this. The casino is also still missing it. So when is that going to release?
I don't know, and I hope it's soon because I want easier ways to get Star Gems.
Yeah, really the only way that you can get them at this point is to either purchase them outright or to use costumes to get them.
Yep.
Plus getting titles, of course. But
which that's a finite amount.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. So yeah, that's pretty much the details of the challenge quest. Yeah, it's
yeah, it's in the menu.
Yep.
It should be SG shop. You can swap AC for SG.
That is true. Yes. But yeah, so that's pretty much challenge mode. Of course, if you do happen to make it to the end of the 5th mission, then that completes the quest at that point. So yeah,
gives you the most amount of challenge miles out of it too.
Yep, I think you get around 4,000 or 5,000 if you get a full completion, which I've already gotten about 3 of them.
And I have yet to get a full completion because every group I get into dies at Area 4.
I think what a lot of players may not realize right now is until they actually get good at this mode, they really should only be picking up the VR capsules and not the challenge miles. And plus, there are other ways to help extend your time. Like once a boss goes down, have somebody assigned to just run to the exit when you're going to get to one of those intervals areas next, because that will stop the timer.
I'll probably do that next time I do challenge mode then.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on now to the next thing we've got here, which is the Urgent Quest and Concert schedule here. So...
Yep. And this is where I initially saw the Las Vegas thing, which confused me.
Yep, so Virtual Planet Battle Training. It's also available as one of the Fresh Finds items right now as a trigger. We're still running Blackened Kingdom, I'll be honest, one of the most useless urgent quests ever.
Yeah, it's only useful for experience points and nothing else.
Yeah. Manifested Planet Baker, which is Magatsu. Gone with Wind and Rain. Looks like we are done with that at this point here, because the last one was on Tuesday.
Yep.
And then we've got some Kuna concerts coming up. One later tomorrow, it looks like. So that's going to be Eternal Encore. And unfortunately, they kind of colored these the same here, so I can't really tell the difference on some of these here.
Yeah. They really need to fix that.
Yeah. Maybe do like some lines or dots inside of them as well. That might be helpful. And then for week number 2, this is where we now get the new urgent quest, which is going to take us to Wolpal. This is actually a decent urgent quest for earning experience, as well as taking care of client orders, since a lot of the enemies are they're going to be fall spawn and sea creature, or oceanid rather, base. So as long as you grab your client orders for those particular enemy types, and you grab the one specifically for the floating facility, you'll come out with a decent number of client orders cleared with that one.
It's just a shame that most of the client orders past a certain level don't really become that useful to do.
Yeah, it's only
you
when...
can still get some set out of it, but it's very useful early levels.
Yep.
And pretty much only useful for the early levels.
Yep, and this urgent quest is also where you get the two bosses of the floating facility and Bar Lotus being fought at the same time.
Oh, fun. Because Bar Lotus, not on his normal stage, is annoying.
Yeah, how
especially as a physical player, or as a melee player. It's so hard to hit him.
Yeah, you gotta jump up and then try to whack him around and everything. But that's what we've got here. Let's come down here real quick to the descriptions here. So, virtual planet battle training. So this is the Las Vegas one. The Bureau of Intelligence has constructed a simulation in which ARKS operatives can undergo further training with their chosen weapons. The environment is intended to challenge ARKS and will help ensure operatives are prepared to use different modes of travel to engage their target enemies. So what they're talking about there are the dash panels. And based on that description, I am confused about why they didn't also include the Ridroids. All ARKS operatives are strongly encouraged to participate in the simulation so as to further enhance their natural skills and abilities. And then here is the other one, Menace of the Sea, Renderer of Serenity. The Intelligence Bureau deployed a small unit of researchers to the floating facility on Wolpal, and the team has sent an urgent request for help with large aggressive oceanids. Multiple signals have been detected corresponding to a large influx of fall spawn. Surface structures have been greatly damaged by the actions of the fall spawn, and further destruction can be expected should they remain unchallenged. Operatives prepare for immediate deployment to aid the beleaguered researchers before the reconnaissance mission is further jeopardized. So yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And of course we got mine-based defense.
Yep. So that's still going on. Let's move in
and
now.
Just like how it is on JP, doing it on super hard will make it to where you don't clear, and doing it on extremely hard, you will actually clear.
Yep, and that's because everybody is leveled up at that point.
Yep.
Alright, moving on to the Fresh Find Shop now here. So, yeah, anybody with a Kingdom Hearts thing, this is pretty much the one that you're looking for here.
Yes, make a Roxas OC.
Yep. So you got the Vask replica. Let's see here.
Kind of looks like one of the characters in Portable 2, like one of the random NPCs.
You know what? Yeah, I think on board the ship, right? On board the oh, what was that?
6.
Yeah,
Plat 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got the Cursed Coats and the Cursed Hood. And you can also get your Virtual Planet Battle Training triggers here as well. So those will be around, actually...
Each one gives you a trigger, I believe, right?
Say again, sorry?
Oh, wait, no. Not each one gives a trigger. Never mind. Yeah, it'll just give you the outfit. All right.
Yeah, the you can purchase the trigger, and they come in the typical 1, 2, or 3 packs. So yeah, it looks like this is actually going to be around until July 7th.
Which is that's 2 weeks. Wait.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising.
Huh. Usually with the Fresh Find stuff, they've only been doing it as a week instead of 2.
Yeah. But
That's interesting.
it might be because of the event that's going on.
Probably.
All right, and along with that, we also have a new fun scratch here.
Yay, fun!
So once again, new hair. You can get another of the Nara sisters' hair here. Casual ponytail. Looks like they're getting the arm blades in play here now. Yes.
Get your Kuna cosplay ready.
Yep. And what is this, Cowlicks?
I don't know. It's a big strand of hair that curves up like a boomerang.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the protagonist from Quest 64.
Maybe a little, yeah. I can kind of see it.
You know about Quest 64, right?
Oh yeah, it was like the only RPG that came out on the N64, and it was like one of the worst RPGs ever.
It's not that terrible, honestly. There's a worse one on the N64. Aiden Chronicles: The First Mage. That game's awful, but Quest 64 is just okay.
Let's see.
And actually, there was I believe 4 different RPGs that released on the N64.
Huh?
It's a banana. Yes, that's what it is. You just have a banana on your head.
Okay, yeah, I can see that now. Let's see here. So we've also got the arm scarves, the leg scarves, and your 3D glasses if you want those.
That's interesting.
Set of stickers here.
And stuff from the previous scratch. We still got all those horrifying masks.
Yep,
especially the Eggman one.
I've seen many rappies wearing an Eggman face as of late.
Yeah, I made one. It's awful.
And it looks like we're still running the same furnishings as before here. So the Chinese set, plus a lot of the same music as previous.
Which I got Live and Learn playing in the Alliance room. Oh, not Live and Learn. Open Your Heart. That's it.
Yep. And I noticed that some symbol art was added there as well.
Yes, you like that symbol art?
It's interesting, to be certain.
Obviously, I'm not going to put anything that's against TOS.
Of course.
I have any of those saved.
Yep. And of course,
Come on. I wanted Praise the Sun and Screaming Aqua. It's great.
Yep. And of course, anybody that wants the Time for War, just let us know. We'll get you in.
You have anything better than the ones on the screen? Okay, thanks, Pen.
Let's see here. And it looks like we got the new emote Worried this week as well here.
Mm-hmm.
So those are going to be around until July 7th. So,
2 weeks again.
Yep. And moving on with that, we also have a new AC scratch. So let's take a look at the trailer for this one here.
The Chevalier line.
Yeah, so the Dragonica is a pretty nice looking set, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That headpiece kind of reminds me of like a character from Kirby, actually.
Oh, the Cutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cutter enemy. And with the Femme Amour. Okay. Ooh, yes.
Yeah,
Chevelle.
the cast.
Yeah. Oh, all those golden trims. I love it.
And if you want to get your Sukuna Hime on, you can do that now. As well as Kotoshiro.
Kotoshiro. What's Kotoshiro Guardian?
Yep.
What is he? From?
He's Sukuna Hime's guardian in the story.
Oh, okay.
You can apparently also get a Daybreaker costume as well.
Cute wings. Oh, cast arms look really good with Exogia parts. Ooh. Interesting.
And we have the new dance, the chair dance.
Oh no, the chair dance! Yeah, that's probably already really expensive on the market. It's probably going to be around 12K. Let me look real quick to see if it's 12K. Or not 12K, 12 million.
Yep. And yeah, it's actually a bunch of emotes in here, so yeah, this one is kind of full in terms of what you can get for emotes here.
Yep. 3 million for the chair dance. I called it.
Yep. And here's the Daybreakers suit here, so if you want to get that on.
I think I did see Ida wearing that before.
Nice. Yeah, hopefully we'll get the Draconian one soon. And then here's Kotoshiro's outfit.
Okay.
The Dragnica is your typical outerwear, basewear, and innerwear.
Oh, I like the smithy clothes. That would work great if we had crafting.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting that in episode 4, so I completely agree. Yeah, it's a really nice outfit for that.
Even though crafting really doesn't require much.
Yeah, no, you don't use tools or anything like that. It's all menu based, aside from some items you need to have in your inventory. And then of course we got the cast pieces here, which is once again real nice here. And then here's that headpiece I was talking about, with the cutter on top. And hey, look, we got some cyborg eyes.
Ooh, boy. Oh, that is creepy.
Yeah.
There's just no pupils. It's terrifying.
Let's see. And then coming down here, Vol Dragon tattoo.
Okay, interesting.
And if you wanted to get a blindfold on, here you go. Kotoshiro's blindfold. Smithy mask.
Oh, the smithy mask. That looks dumb. It just looks really over the top just for a little mask thing. Twitchy cat ears. Okay. The fairy wings look cute, though.
Yep. The round buckler, the first time I saw that, I thought, is that a donut? But no, it's actually a shield.
No. Yep. That's a cute little design on it.
Yep. And then you got some skirts.
Weapon camo. Oh, they're actually showing what the weapon camos look like now. Awesome.
Yep. And then you got your typical assortment of consumables here, fix augments, elemental transitions, as well as the emotes. And then it does not look like there is... Oh, actually, no, I take that back. There is a special accessory going on as bonus rewards. The claw arm left and the claw arm right. So that's what it looks like. So yeah, I'd say definitely one of the better ones that's come out.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in this that I would highly recommend getting because they just look cool.
Yep. And plus they're doing a thing which I guess let's see, where is that?
It was you did UQs to get a AC scratch ticket.
Yep. So if you have that AC scratch ticket,
yep, which I already used that and I got just an okay item out of it.
Yeah, that's how things go with the AC scratch and the Star Gem Fun Scratch. Oh, actually, we don't have the Star Gem Scratch, but I'm sure we'll be getting that eventually.
Which the Star Gem Scratch, if I remember correctly, you couldn't sell those.
Right. Yeah, it was dedicated to character outfits. So actually, no, maybe we are gonna get it now that I think about it, because that's all showing up in the mission pass.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, all those outfits that were in the Star Gem Scratch, we're getting those through the mission pass as with the gold pass. So it's likely only a matter of time before we start to get like the Dark Falls outfits and such.
Interesting.
But yeah, let's go into one of the things. It's technically already passed the Premium User Appreciation Day. This was back on the 22nd for the 22nd of June. It happens every 22nd of the month. If you're a premium user, you get two 22-star gem tickets, and your fun experience, rare drop rate, and gathering fever occurrence rate is boosted by 100%, and you get an extra login stamp. There's going to be a normal version of this on the 2nd of July.
Yep, it's the 2nd and 22nd of every month. That's PSO2 Day. Ha ha ha.
Yep, and with this day comes the ARKS Rappy, so...
Yep. Which I have my Rappy suit now.
I still haven't gotten it yet.
Yep. So I can make my abominations.
I'm surprised they haven't released any of the other Rappy suits yet.
They'll eventually do that.
Yeah, I guess so. Moving on, we have a campaign going on, Get the ARKS Handbook title. To get this title, simply speak with the ARKS Handbook Guide Litonia and open the ARKS Handbook. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, it is a really quick one. You do it between these time periods, between June 24th and July 7th, you get yourself a 20-star gem ticket. Not much more else to say about that one.
But I do recommend that new players look at that, because it does have some information that is useful for newer players.
Oh yeah, definitely. And moving on from there, we also have another campaign, the Use Group Chat campaign. So, if you've already got something set up for that, just go ahead and say something once in there, you're good to go. Otherwise, get yourself into a group chat and say something inside there. As long as you say something inside there, it could be pretty much anything you want it to be. Then on the 22nd of July, you're going to get yourself an Evolution device, the Sega Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, the Japanese side is getting the same thing, although for them it's going to be the Mega Drive.
Yeah, because it was only called the Genesis in North America. It was called the Mega Drive everywhere else.
Yep. Yeah. And to your point, that Star Gem from the prior one doesn't come out until August 5th.
Mm-hmm. And for this one, it distributes August 5th.
Yep.
As well, right? Or the other one? Go back to the other one real quick.
This one is July 22nd.
Okay.
After maintenance.
All right.
So maybe, let me see here. That's 22nd of July. So, yeah. It'll be after maintenance on that day.
All right.
And then we've also got the daily login reward. Once again, it's just a bunch of half-scape dolls. Most players who have been playing for some time already have over 100 of those, so...
Hi, I'm one of them. And the escape doll campaigns are useless to me.
They have their reason, and it's mostly going to be when the really hard extreme quests start to come out.
True. But I still find most of them just useless.
Yeah, once you get past your first few weeks, most players are going to, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And then we got another round of casino boosts coming. So, all these, let's see. So, log in between, looks like it's specifically on the 28th you need to log in. And as long as you do that, you're going to get yourself 5 casino coin passes.
Mm-hmm. So if you log in tomorrow.
Yep. And then we have an assortment of casino boosts going on here. So Rappy slots, the machines will be hotter. Little roulette, the double chance and the triple chance will have a higher chance of occurring. The set and shooter PSE levels will rise faster. Arkma slots, the coin winnings will be increased. And Blackniak, there will be an increased chance of triggering pursuit bonus. In addition to receiving more winnings when it occurs.
Yep. And out of all of them, Blackniak is a dirty cheater, so I would just do the method shooter.
Yep, unless you're actually going for titles, which I still need a few from that one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the fun starts tomorrow. It's It's a long day for all these here. And then following that in next week, starting on the 30th, that's when things kind of spread out between the morning and the evenings.
Which because of my schedule, I can usually never do the ones that are in the mornings.
Yep. All right. So that pretty much takes us to the end of the site updates. Let's now get into the Pso2 Station Plus updates here. Let's see here.
And when it comes to most things on JP's side, I haven't been playing on JP in a while, so I try to follow it at least.
Yeah, I something about the North American version has drawn me in as well. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact it's still sort of a fresh start. Maybe it's just the long break in the content, but yeah. Let's take a look at.
Like that.
Sorry, say again?
I kind of like that fresh start because it just gives older weapons and older content new life.
Definitely. So, once again, our information is coming off of the bumped PSU blog, so let's get this open here. And so, secret phrase, say this in chat on the Japanese servers in the lobby, and you're going to get these prizes, a bunch of female voices, a male voice, and a Pso2 comic memory. And then there is a Sonic the Movie campaign going on. Say the secret phrase in chat to receive a variety of Sonic items. That campaign starts on the 26th, and they're going to post what the secret phrase is at that time. But it looks like you're going to get the Sonic Knuckle Camo, Sonic and Amy Room item, which we actually have here on the North American side.
Yeah, but the Chow mask! We don't have the Chow mask! I want that Chow mask!
Yep, and they're also getting the Station Square music disc as well.
Oh, joy.
And now, here between July 1st and July 15th, we've got what's called the Zero Grind Cost campaign going on. So basically, there's a boost going on, which is giving your grind rate and your fixing rate an extra 5%, an NT experience rate up by 15%, and the great success rate up by 25%. And then all these services here, so NT grinding, old type grinding, unit grinding, skill ring grinding, on and on and on here, all of these are going to cost nothing in terms of a setup.
So I would suggest, if you're still playing on JP here, is grind up a bunch of 12 stars to plus 30 and hold on to them.
Yep.
Like, just have a massive amount of plus 30 12 stars grinded up, and just wait until after this campaign is done, and then start putting those up onto the market.
Yep. Either that, or you can use them to dump them into any 15 stars that you still need to grind up.
Yep. Or getting certain 13 stars or 14 stars grinded up so you can trade them into 15 stars.
Yep. So, for the early July update, this is going to be Tanabata here, which is also known as the Star Festival. I've talked about this a lot in the past, about the story of the two people who were separated by the stars by a father, and every year they're able to come together as long as one of them has done all the looming that they need to do. Anyway, you're going to see wishes from Pso2 and Pso2 comic characters, and even Pso2 Station members. And Franca's Ocean Cafe is going to be opening up as well. And there's actually a side C to the Winter Design Scratch as well here. So
what is that blue robot thing I'm looking at?
I know, it's kind of like that caught my eye as well. It almost looks like it was based on a mag from Phantasy Star Universe, except it's got legs now.
It kind of looks like that. It also looks like those small Gundam machines.
SD Gundam?
Yeah, SD Gundam.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
It looks like an SD Gundam, in a way.
Yep. And then you've also got your pilot outfits here. Looks like a couple of ribbons on top that you can change the color of. And a gas mask.
Kind of like the ribbons, though. Those are nice.
Yep. And you can also put...
what are these faces?
Yep, you can actually put stickered faces on your face now, or rather, stickered mouths on your face now.
Okay, this I might want to go back onto JP just so I can have this, just so I can forever have my character smiling like that guy on the left. It looks creepy as all hell, but I love it.
Yeah, definitely. And let's see what else here. The one that caught my eye here was the eyeball. That's a new headpiece.
Oh yeah, the eyeball there. Huh.
Yep. And we've also got more of the lewds going on here.
Yep, of course. It's not PSO2 without the lewds. You gotta have those giant boobs.
And then you've got a fan, and looks like this is another kind of camo here.
Wise man once said, it's all about the booty.
Yep. And you can also have a tongue sticking out of your mouth now as well.
Nice. I love the cutesy stuff that are added in mostly. Like those mouth stickers, they're cutesy, and I like them.
Yep. And then we've also got here we go. Another set of eyes. These kind of look like the cybernetic ones that we saw a little while ago, except they're dark instead of brighter.
Yeah, still just creepy with how lifeless it is.
Yep. Got some new tattoos, and this is the rope swing emote here.
Oh, so you can be Tarzan? Cool.
Yep. And then they also added Dance 59 with this as well. Early July, we also have the 8th anniversary event ARKS Connect Memories starting. So this is going to have its own exchange shop. With that, we're going to get the Million Weapon series, and you can get yourself another Liberate Unlocker if you need one. Limited quantity of those, of course. And there is going to be a ranking event for 24 hours between July 18th and July 19th. And then there's also a Special Training Episode 6 Limited Quest here. So this is the same kind of thing we've been seeing over since before Episode 5 launch. Whereby there was Special Training Episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then there was like a combined 1 to 4. Then we got Episode 5 after Episode 5 ended, and now there's going to be an Episode 6 as well. And, whoops. In those, the first half is divided in two, so some support will occur based on the number of players, so, not really sure what that means, if that means we're going to be getting, like, NPCs, or if they're going to decrease enemy health or something like that.
And the first thing my eyes draw to for that image is the cannon. Like, you see that golden cannon there? Yeah, not that picture, the other one.
Oh,
yeah,
this one here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Golden cannon.
Yeah, that one caught my eye as well. That was kind of funny to see it, but yeah, it's a launcher that fires a cannon, basically.
Wait, that's the launcher?
Yeah.
Huh. Doesn't look like a launcher.
I agree. But yeah, you're gonna get yourself some new 15-star weapons here. And there's also a 4-player trigger version of this as well. And then at the end of it, there will be Shiva and Varuna. Drops are going to include the 15 Carissa weapon series, as well as the Coat Verge and Coat Glide camos.
15 stars are currently on JP. Do you know?
So, say one more time, sorry?
How many 15 stars do you know that are on JP right now?
I want to say that we're approaching at least 10 series now for 15 stars. And then, looks like with the 8th anniversary, there's also an accessory selection as well as a mystery bag G.
Mystery bag G?
That's what it says here. Popular costumes and layered wear. Okay, so that's just a category.
Okay. So it's basically just another gacha thing.
Yep.
Alright.
So that's the end of that update. Late July, we have the Ritual Marriage AC Scratch. So this is where you can get your margarita on if you need to do that. I'll be honest, aside from that, not too much else is really catching my eye here.
Yeah. They're fine outfits. It's just not that extravagant like the other ones that were shown off there.
Yeah. Let's see. We're also going to get some more wings on the back. This looks like some...
Oh, hey, those look like the furry wings.
Kinda, yeah. Some gems flying off the back that are chained to a belt. A couple of weapon camos here.
And a faceplant emote, what it looks like.
Yep. And then this is a new, this is a bow emote over here.
Yep, bow stance.
And then, this is where where we get another, ranking event. This is saying the lobby with the annoying music and bells is back. So, okay, so then it looks like they're bringing the wedding lobby to Japan at that point.
Oh, nice. Is the wedding lobby a thing in Japan before?
Yeah, it was when a couple of characters from the story got married, and actually it even appeared once before that. I'm not naming who it was.
Yep.
That's an episode 5 thing. So with the ranking event, looks like there's going to be the typical assortment of items that you get from this. These right here are like a bunch of boosters that you can get from the event, which will work for fixing.
The lobby with the annoying music and bells is back. Yeah, the wedding lobby music is not really that great.
Yep. And then there's going to be a second part to the 8th anniversary badge exchange. So you'll be able to pick up a bunch of S2 guard capsules as well as spirited response capsules. And also a photon reduction capsule, limit of 1 each of those. Be nice if they came in 6, 7, and 8 forms, because then you could apparently block all flaming, freezing, and potentially paralysis and things like that. Get yourself what was called a state maintenance back in the day on PSO.
Oh.
And with this update, we're also getting an expansion of the Battleship Infiltration system. This is called the Enhancer quest. So, if we take a look at this here, once again, this is on board the battleship. You gotta avoid the laser fences, and the one of the end bosses from the Divide quest shows up here as well. This is the guy that likes to throw his tails out on the ground there, the Grav X Cure.
So basically just like any other MMO kind of enemy.
Yep. Yeah, I think he's only like the second or third enemy in the game to do something like that. The first was when we had the Final Fantasy XIV crossover, and Odin showed up.
Which, that makes sense, since that's what happens in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yep. You're going to be able to get mainly units, as well as S6 to S8 abilities. And there's also going to be a Trigger Quest version of this as well. And there's also Darkfall's Persona Ultra Hard coming.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I love the Dark Falls Persona UQ.
Yep, and there's going to...
Or Emergency Quest, as they're called in JP. I've gotten so used to using NA terms now. Ag.
Yep, so there's going to be a trigger version of this, as well as he's going to be adding an extra attack pattern. And so the way this works is he basically grabs a sword and starts attacking you.
Oh, interesting.
And the other sort of big news is 12-star units can now be sold in the player shops as well with this update.
Oh, that's actually pretty big.
And we're also going to be getting 13-star Xion units as well.
Well, who else will I have ice cream with? So, I'm sorry, but every single time I think of Xion, like I hear Xion, I think of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
I always love making fun of that scene.
I never really got that heavily into the Kingdom Hearts series. I mean, I am at least familiar with the story, but yeah, I could.
Surprised you're familiar with the story, with how convoluted it is.
Actually, not that bad once you put it all together, and it takes about an hour to explain it, but yeah. And if anything, let's be honest, Phantasy Star as a whole is way more complicated than Kingdom Hearts.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we're also going to be getting an AC Scratch Revival for summer-themed items, so we're probably going to be seeing swimsuits again. And there's also the Oracle Summer Collection AC Scratch, including...
Why is that tentacle?
That's a...
Why is there a tentacle?
That's an AC Scratch Revival item.
Oh god.
And there's also the banana there.
That's a nice banana.
Which is actually an emote, number 538.
Yep. That's a nice banana.
Yep. Alright. Early August.
Man, I wish they would tell us all the stuff that's coming up in NA like this.
I agree.
Especially when it comes to all the outfits coming out.
Yeah. I mean, we do have the roadmap, which takes us to Episode 6, so at least we have the general idea now.
Oh, Episode 6, Part 1.
Yep. Let's see here. So, looks like this AC Scratch is a little bit more, I don't know. This kind of looks, if anything, like punk looking, if you ask me.
Kind of.
And then...
And you got the gas mask again.
Yep. And the fishnet.
That's a male one.
Yeah.
That's a male fit thing.
Yeah. So let's move. Well, I guess it even says it right here. Cyberpunk and sexy Japanese style outfits here. So.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Exotic Revelry AC Scratch.
That's why it's a gender swap costume request outfits. That's why. So now some female outfits males can wear.
Yep.
Or there's a male version of.
And then looks like for a cast head you can put like some sort of a antenna on top, I guess.
Kind of. It's more like a horn.
Yeah, I guess. And then you're getting your...
on the bottom right there, that is definitely a router.
And then...
You just put a router on your robot waifu. Perfect.
Yep. And also, you've got your jet boot emote as well here, finally.
Yay! My class, it speaks to me.
Yep. Alright, so, Episode 6's final chapter!
Yes!
The final decisive battle with the Photoners is approaching! So, all the ARKs are going to be coming in, trying to assist you, the Guardian, as you try to take down Shiva.
And this will then hopefully lead into whatever the not episode 7 thing is.
Yep, and that's exactly what we've got here. So, the 2020 roadmap. So, summer, we got the ARKS Connect Memory 8th anniversary event. August to September, episode 6 final chapter. A new raid boss and new raid quest. And a summer event. And then September to October, the 4th successor or Scion class comes out.
Which is the Gunblade one.
Yep.
I still find that's really funny.
Yep, and then there's going to be a new 12-player emergency quest and a new advanced pet. So that's going to be something different than Grass's, I guess. And then...
Maybe it is grass.
Say again?
Or maybe it is Grass. Or did Grass already release?
I thought they already came out.
I think that was part of that same trailer that showed that new Scion class.
Yeah. Again, you might be right. I'll need to double check.
Alright.
And then October to November, we get a new Extreme quest, a new highly difficult solo quest, and a Divide quest expansion.
I like a difficult solo quest. Like, one of my favorite quests to play on JP was Omega Masquerade.
Omega Masquerade, and then before that you had Faleg. And then I guess the question becomes, what would you think we would get for this solo quest?
I don't know.
Maybe a virtual Shiva fight? Or...
Which, with the Shiva fight, most people have already been doing that solo through the Divide quest.
Yep. How about this for an idea? Player versus Risa.
Ooh. I think Risa would kill them.
Well, it would be a highly difficult solo quest.
Oh, definitely. Because Risa, she would not hold back, and she'll try to kill you.
Agreed. Alright, and then afterwards, instead of a new episode, we'll have a gigantic new update. And this is what I've been saying for a while. I think this is actually a real full expansion to Pso2.
Which, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Especially if, with that gigantic new update, they do it at the same time on NA as they do on JP.
That might be the plan. I mean, here's the thing, though. We know that winter is when we're going to start seeing episode 6. So I would expect we're probably going to still be a few months behind on the gigantic update. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that all plays out.
True.
But as I've been saying before, I think with them getting rid of Vita support, this is probably going to be the time when they're also going to look to get rid of 32-bit Windows support and increase the minimum requirements for what you need for your computer.
Yeah, massively update the game.
Yeah. The game needs a graphical overhaul at this point. Just doing a Tier 7 is not going to do it anymore.
Because this game's been out since 2012, and it definitely shows.
And it's been in development even longer.
Uh-huh. Like, it was in development during when PSU was out.
Yep. Alright, let's move on to the big one here. The final battle.
Yes.
And so with that, I have queued up what that looks like here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this final boss. So yeah, the final battle.
That looks really cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll get on JP to try that. I don't know. Like I keep saying, maybe I'll get on the JP to try it, and I never do. I would need to completely reinstall it.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I am seeing so much symbolism in this fight. It's not even funny anymore. The environment that thing is coming out of looks like the Edge from End of the Millennium. One of the attacks it uses looks like the Black Wave. This is getting crazy at this point. My tin hat is I can't take it off at this point. So,
Really want the whole thing of we're going to be getting up in Rogol really true, huh?
well, Algol actually.
Or Algol, yeah, not Rogol.
Yeah.
Algol.
Yeah, no, here's what I'm thinking. Multiple phases. So once you take out its eye like that, it's gonna completely transform into something else, where something's gonna come out of that eye socket that you broke.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Arks are not going to win this fight. All they're going to be able to do is just seal the thing away. They're not going to be able to actually kill the thing outright. Those are my two predictions for this fight.
Now imagine if during that fight it plays a remix of Laughter.
Laughter or another of the Idola themes, yeah.
Because they've already used Ooze for Profound Darkness.
Yep. Yep, or the other one that I don't think they've remade at this point is the one from Phantasy Star Zero.
I haven't played all of Zero yet. I do have it, but I haven't gotten that far into it.
Yeah, it's definitely a different game from the original Phantasy Star series or Phantasy Star Online series, but it's still kind of based on it, or at least that's kind of how that game was originally going to be. It was just going to be a DS port of Phantasy Star Online, and instead they changed it to Phantasy Star Zero.
Yeah, and I've played it. It does play very similar to Phantasy Star. It's just control scheme and the limitations of the DS. Yeah, it had to compromise on places.
Yep.
And there's really not that much of an endgame to do in it.
Yeah. But yeah, this is... Just thinking back to some of the attacks that this guy had. He also had that wave that just chases you across the platforms. And there was another attack whereby it seemed like this boss broke the platform, and your character got held in place for a brief moment there. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, that looked interesting.
Yeah, it's like it got time frozen or something like that.
Luther. Ooh.
Kinda. And the other thing that, and this is gonna sound weird, but this battle actually reminds me a little bit of a final boss from World of Warcraft. Actually, the Deathwing final boss phase, whereby you were basically out in the ocean, jumping across different platforms, trying to take him out.
Also, no, we don't have a name for the Gunblade class yet.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that, but if anything, maybe Photoner. I don't know. It's definitely gonna be based on Vana to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much everything that's going on here. I can't wait to fight this thing. It is going to be so much fun, and I look forward to seeing what the secret true last boss is going to be.
That's going to be interesting.
Because, you know, if this thing opens up and I just see a bunch of mouths coming out of it, that's the profound darkness from End of the Millennium.
Oh ho ho ho!
So yeah, it's just a matter of time. I am really excited for this thing, and yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming. But that's pretty much what I had for this week. Did you have anything, Xance?
Not that I can think of. Yeah, run challenge mode. It's fun.
Definitely. And there are titles available for you. If you run that up to 25 times, you'll get different titles.
Yeah, that's all I can think of on my side.
Alright, so then that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Xance and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny.